The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. Everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. Your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. You are what you do, not what you say you'll do. Loneliness does not come from having no people about one, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to oneself, or from holding certain views which others find inadmissible. Knowing your own darkness is the best method for dealing with the darknesses of other people. The pendulum of the mind oscillates between sense and nonsense, not between right and wrong. Every form of addiction is bad, no matter whether the narcotic be alcohol, morphine, or idealism. The privilege of a lifetime is to become who you truly are. As a child, I felt myself to be alone, and I am still, because I know things and must hint at things which others apparently know nothing of, and for the most part do not want to know. People will do anything, no matter how absurd, to avoid facing their own souls. The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely. There's no coming to consciousness without pain. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. No tree, it is said, can grow to heaven unless its roots reach down to hell. Mistakes are, after all, the foundations of truth, and if a man does not know what a thing is, it is at least an increase in knowledge if he knows what it is not. As far as we can discern, the sole purpose of human existence is to kindle a light of meaning in the darkness of mere being. Whatever is rejected from the self appears in the world as an event. thinking is difficult. That's why most people judge. Where wisdom reigns, there is no conflict between thinking and feeling. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. How can I be substantial if I do not cast a shadow? I must have a dark side also if I am to be whole. The greatest tragedy of the family is the unlived lives of the parents. Where love rules, there is no will to power, and where power predominates, love is lacking. The one is the shadow of the other. The creation of something new is not accomplished by the intellect, but by the play instinct acting from inner necessity. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. The best political, social, and spiritual work we can do is to withdraw the projection of our shadow onto others. To find out what is truly individual in ourselves, profound reflection is needed, and suddenly we realize how uncommonly difficult the discovery of individuality is. The first half of life is devoted to forming a healthy ego. The second half is going inward and letting go of it. Nothing has a stronger influence psychologically on their environment, and especially on their children, than the unlived life of the parent. The reason for evil in the world is that people are not able to tell their stories. Wholeness is not achieved by cutting off a portion of one's being, but by integration of the contraries. If there is anything that we wish to change in the child, we should first examine it and see whether it is not something that could better be changed in ourselves. Every human life contains a potential. If that potential is not fulfilled, then that life was wasted. Even a happy life cannot be without a measure of darkness, and the word happy would lose its meaning if it were not balanced by sadness. We meet ourselves time and again in 1,000 disguises on the path of life. It all depends on how we look at things, and not on how things are in themselves. The least of things with a meaning is worth more in life than the greatest of things without it. Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakes. There can be no transforming of darkness into light and of apathy into movement without emotion. If one does not understand a person, one tends to regard him as a fool. The healthy man does not torture others. Generally, it is the tortured who turn into torturers. Find out what a person fears most, and that is where he will develop next. Sometimes you have to do something unforgivable just to be able to go on living. When an inner situation is not made conscious, it appears outside as fate. The bigger the crowd, the more negligible the individual becomes. Loneliness does not come from having no people around you, but from being unable to communicate the things that seem important to you. We are born at a given moment in a given place, and like vintage years of wine, we have the qualities of the year and of the season in which we are born. We cannot change anything unless we accept it. Condemnation does not liberate, it oppresses. Faith, hope, love, and insight are the highest achievements of human effort. They are found given by experience. Whenever we give up, leave behind, and forget too much, there is always the danger that the things we have neglected will return with added force. Often the hands will solve a mystery that the intellect has struggled with in vain. The wrong we have done, thought, or intended will wreak its vengeance on our souls. A creative person has little power over his own life. He is not free. He is captive and driven by his daemon. Life is a battleground. It always has been and always will be. And if it were not so, existence would come to an end. When you are up against a wall, put down roots like a tree until clarity comes from deeper sources to see over that wall and grow. One of the main functions of organized religion is to protect people against a direct experience of God. Whatever we look at and however we look at it, we see only through our own eyes. Psychological or spiritual development always requires a greater capacity for anxiety and ambiguity. Know all the theories, master all the techniques, but as you touch a human soul, be just another human soul. the life that I could still live, I should live, and the thoughts that I could still think, I should think. The greatest and most important problems of life are all fundamentally insoluble. They can never be solved, but only outgrown. My own understanding is the sole treasure I possess, and the greatest. Though infinitely small and fragile in comparison with the powers of darkness, it is still a light, my only light. Much of the evil in this world is due to the fact that man, in general, is hopelessly unconscious. A true symbol appears only when there is a need to express what thought cannot think, or what is only divined or felt. Thanks for watching, and subscribe for more.